Well, good day everybody again. So this is going to be the last computer class tutorial for DIPS. So I'm going to teach you how we can do another type of kinematic analysis for planar failure. So what I have right now is the data that I use for my previous tutorial on top link. So I'm going to use the same data and I'm going to remove all this information that I don't need. And it's going to be the same site condition, so we still have uh, lots of discontinuities, and we still have cuts of the rock mass, the one that they use for road, and we are given this information that slope angle, so this is the plane that I'm going to use. So this is slope phase. It has a deeper direction. If you go here, you will see that this is deep in deep direction. So that's the information for the slope phase. So when we do planar failure analysis, the thing that we need to determine is those discontinuities that we analyze. They should daylight. So again, this is going to be just a tutorial on how to use software. So probably you have to watch my other videos on the theory behind this software, how we use this method. So I just want to tell you that to do planar analysis, so there are two conditions that must be met. So the first one, all those discontinuities that can generate this planar failure, they should daylight. So they should actually come to the surface. If they don't come to the surface, if it's go inside the rock mass, in this case, there's not going to be any planar failure. So there might be like potential toppling if those discontinuities incline at a very high angle. So what we need to do first, we need to modify this plane. And I'm going to click this button that says daylight envelope. And OK. So this will create this circle. And this circle will show us what discontinuities actually daylight, which means that they come to the surface. So you see, out of so many, only I believe only three planes of discontinuities actually can be dangerous in terms of planar failure. So that can generate planar failure. So only three. So we already see that the risk is pretty small, but we will still continue the analysis. And the second type of condition that must be met for this particular planar failure, it's about friction angle. So friction angle between the planes. So it's clear if the friction angle is pretty high compared to the inclination. In this case, there is not going to be any movement, right? So the idea is that the friction angle between the planes is actually less than the inclination of those planes. In this case, due to the gravity, planes will tend to slide downward. So what we need to do is just we need to look at these discontinuities, those planes that have dip, which is angle greater than the friction angle of those planes, between those planes. So the way to do it, again, we're going to use option which is called the cone. So I can find it on tools, cone, and we're going to draw a circle from the center. And the way we're going to do it, because it's from the center, we're going to put it here 0, and plunge will be 90. And then the angle, so that will be the radius, so that's the angle, the friction angle. Already given that friction angle is 35 degrees. So I will also write it down in the description of the video. Please read it. It's below the video. So I'm going to put 35 and click OK. So now what we do, we get this circle. And this circle shows that all those points, poles, they would represent discontinuities that incline at the angle which is greater than the friction angle. So that dip of all these poles will be greater than 35 degrees. What we have inside, just few poles, a few points. So these poles will represent discontinuities, planes of discontinuities that are inclined at the angle that is less than 35 degrees. So what we need to do, we need to see how many points out of the circle, and that's so many. But at the same time, we also need to see what planes daylight. So that should be within this circle. So what we have is only this small area, and that will give us planes that can result in planar failure. So you see, it's only one. So in this case, if it's less than 6%, and clearly it's less than 6%, in this case there is no danger for planar failure. So what I'm gonna do right now, again, I'm gonna show you a shortcut how to do it quickly. So we're going to this menu analysis, go to kinematic analysis, and now we tick this box, and we're going to choose planar sliding, no limits. So it's really like information here. You will see that dip direction 135, slope dip 45, and friction angle is 35. So we actually don't need to do anything. Just click OK. So you see that software will actually highlight this area for us so that it's clear what we should look at. And it also calculates how many critical points for planar failure, and you see it's only one plane out of 303. So it doesn't even make 1%. So what we can say that for this particular rock mass, when we do kinematic analysis of discontinuities using deep in deep direction, so we can say that this rock mass is not going to fail in planar failure sliding. That's it for this tutorial. I hope that it was useful. Have a nice day, and bye.